Hello and welcome to the Raven Speed demonstration. The purpose of this video is to show a side-by-side comparison of the old Raven Speed and the new Raven Speed being proposed by Blizzard for the balance patch 1.5. Blizzard just put up a post today on the Battle.net forums stating how they want to improve the Raven's usefulness by increasing its acceleration to 2.25 and its movement speed to 2.5. Now those numbers are kind of ambiguous just if you look at them on paper. So what I thought I'd do is just put together a quick video demonstrating the Raven's base speed alongside other Terran units, and then showing what it looks like alongside other Terran units on the new Antiga Shipyard map that has the proposed change in it. So first, we have a Raven here with its 2.25 movement speed alongside a group of Marines and a siege tank and a medevac, just for comparison's purposes. Now the medevac has a 2.5 movement speed, and that is basically what Blizzard is proposing to buff the Raven's movement speed up to. So let me just give you a quick demonstration of what the Raven looks like currently with this 2.25 movement speed. For comparison's sake, the 2.25 movement speed is exactly the same as a Marine's. Now you'll notice that this Raven is slowly being outdistanced by the medevac. The medevac and the Raven are pretty much, they're both flying units, but they kind of like, you always have to pull back your medevacs when you're playing as a Terran player, because you always have to keep in mind of where your Raven is, because it's obviously the more expensive unit. The Raven is actually keeping perfect pace with the siege tanks and the Marines, but the other flying unit from the starport is just so much far ahead, and by the time that we actually get to the opposite side of Antiga Shipyard's ramp, the medevac has actually been there for like a good period of time. So altogether, I mean, that's pretty much how what the Raven looks like now. I'm going to have a demonstration with some other air units just to give you a little bit of a better idea of what the Raven's movement speed looks like before we go to the new version. Okay, for this second demonstration, this is still with the 2.25 move speed. I have added in a Viking, a Banshee, and a battlecruiser. Now, Vikings have a 2.75 movement speed, as do Banshees, although Banshees accelerate slightly faster than Vikings do. Meanwhile, our big, bulky battlecruiser has a 1.88 movement speed. So let's see how what the Raven looks like compared with these other units. I have these Marines and siege tanks down here. Just again, once again, the Raven has the same movement speed right now as the siege tank and Marine. So he will move at around the same rate as those two units, but the other starport units should outdistance the Raven pretty quickly. So let's see what happens here. You can see the Banshee and the Viking just getting so much further ahead than the other two units, and meanwhile that medevac is slowly outdistancing the Raven. The Raven is managing to maintain a comfortable lead on the big slow battlecruiser back there, but no one's really proposing that we increase battlecruiser speed any much. I mean, I think that everyone at this point is pretty happy with battlecruisers being as slow as they are. So at this point, you can't even see the Viking and Banshee. They've already gotten all the way to the end of our little like raceway here. The Raven is just now coming in, just slightly behind the just behind the Marines and siege tanks, and then here comes the battlecruiser taking up the rear. So that is that demonstration of the base movement speed for Ravens. I'm going to show you right now what this will look like with the new 2.5 movement speed bonus. Okay, so here we are on the new Blizzard test map, Antiga Shipyard. You can find this on the custom game list. It's like a featured map right at the top. It says specifically on it 1.50 test balance patch or something, so you can test these changes yourself. There's also changes to creep tumors that I'm not actually going to cover in this video. Okay, so on this map we have a Raven that has a 2.5 movement speed, which is exactly the same as the medevac movement speed, is slightly faster than the movement speed of siege tanks and Marines, and is slightly slower than the 2.75 movement speed of Vikings. So let's see what these units look like together when they're traveling together. So unlike our previous map, we have the Ravens actually hanging toe-to-toe with the medevac and actually outdistancing the Marines and siege tanks. This should give you an idea of just how much faster this small difference to Ravens is actually going to make in this matchup. You can see that we are actually covering ground on Antiga Shipyard so much faster than we were in the previous map. Okay, here once again is just a side-by-side comparison of just these three starport units. Remember that Vikings have the same movement speed as Banshees, and Ravens in this proposed balance patch have the same movement speed as Medevacs. You can see that the Raven and Medevac are exactly next to each other. The Medevac is just slightly ahead, but that's because she started a little bit ahead. And the Viking, despite the fact that it's faster than the Raven, is not outdistancing it nearly as quickly as it was in the previous demonstration on the old map. So this is obviously going to make Ravens much more comfortable to be used alongside other starport units, where currently the only thing that comes out of a starport that's slower than a Raven is a battlecruiser. And we're going to show you what this new speed looks like compared to the big battlecruiser in just a second.
Complete.
Alright, and here we go. This will be our final lap, just demonstrating the Raven movement speed alongside the other starport units like we did on the last map.
Completed.
You can see the Viking and Banshee are still outdistancing the other units, but not nearly as much as they were in the previous map. The poor battlecruisers being left so far behind as these other speedy starport units are just so much quicker than that is. So there you have it. This new proposed Raven change will put its speed identical to the Medevacs. The Medevac and the Raven have about the same acceleration, and all the starport units are still going to be, of course, much faster than the battlecruiser, but this will make the disparity so much more even. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Once again, if you would like to test these changes for yourself, this map is up in the custom game section of StarCraft, so it's not on the arcade. You have to go to StarCraft Custom Games, and it'll be featured right at the top there. It's got that little Blizzard tag next to it. So until next time, I'll see you guys later.